Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late November 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Gemini collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Geminis in late November? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini in late November. What's the vibe? What's the energy here for my good friends? Let's get this card out nice and quick. There we go. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords figure. Now, obviously, this isn't a tarot deck, but she just screams Queen of Swords to me, which is actually very good for Gemini. Remember, it's not gender specific. To me, that is one of your power cards. And I love to lead off the reading with a very powerful energy. And that's where we're at with her. Look at her. She means business, right? Like very stern, honest, serious. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end. So you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. And while you're down there, tap that new hype button. I'm not sure what it does, but it would make me all warm and fuzzy on the inside. But enough of the promo. That's it. Let's get into the reading. So again, we see this strong figure, and it is one of my Gemini power cards. So this could represent a whole bunch of things for you in your reading here. Now, this could be a focus on the self, whether it's spirit saying like, all right, Gemini, maybe you should focus on what's best for you or what's right for you. There is a self-interest when you get a power card, and there's also a strong confidence, which I think is really nice. But the themes of the Queen of Swords, there's some great ones, but then there's some harsh ones too. So as I already mentioned, she's honest, stern, straightforward, no BS, no nonsense. Like if you ask an opinion, she's going to give it to you straight. And that's something I really appreciate about the Queen of Swords energy. The downside, she could be a little harsh with the words, harsh with the tongue. So I know some Geminis, you're good wordsmiths. So when she shows up in the front of your reading, who knows, maybe you might hurt someone's feelings without trying it. Maybe your way of communication in this time is extra blunt when we see her. She can be very good, smart, strategic, super intelligent, but she could also be a little mean. So just watch out for that. We're going to put her down right there. She could chill out. I don't want her to yell at me. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my beautiful Gemini friends. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was titled Explosive Action Incoming. There was a lot of fiery energy, which usually works good for Gemini. So whether it's an action you were about to take or an action someone else was going to take, there wasn't much thinking aligned with it. It was just like, boom, I think I do, or I do, then I think about it. So hopefully that went well for you. And action comes in a lot of different ways, whether it's the things you do or others, as I mentioned. But that fiery energy could bleed over for a couple weeks, but we're going to see what we have this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone else, right? So let's get it going. 3 cards here for Gemini in late November. What's the vibe? Here we go. Quick. Earthy. So maybe the energy has calmed down. Love the 10 of Pentacles there. And it did pop out with another Pentacle card, and we'll get her out there momentarily. But that is a good way to start, that's for sure. And we follow up with the Queen of Pentacles. Guess it really depends on your situation. For some of you, this is like almost paradigm changing in a good way. For some of you, it could be a little clunky. Let's say 7 of Cups. Cool. So I love the elemental combination we have going on here with the 7 of Cups. Beautiful options, path, choices, a lot of creativity there. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I was already speaking a little bit about the elements, and I always feel like that's very important. It tells us how the energy is moving, or the areas of in life that could be taking center stage right now. And you do have a lot of earth right here in the front, and water. Now, I always say about the earth-water combination, to me, it represents blessings, potential, abundance. That's a really optimal combination of elements here. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic about what we're seeing. But with earth right here in the front, It can represent work, money, finances, investments, business, home, living, family, all the earthy things. When I see a lot of earth energy, it represents the world we live in our day to day lives. So that could be very good, especially for abundance. But earthy energy could also be very solid, very stable. So as we were seeing explosive action and a lot of change in recent weeks, earth energy could sometimes feel a little stuck. So watch out for feelings of not making enough progress quick enough, or feeling stuck, or not knowing what to do. That could be earthy energy. And then we have water here on the back end, the realm of emotions and feelings, your inner world. It's great for creativity, thinking outside of the box. Water can also represent partnerships and stuff along those lines. So the combination of the two is really great. The thing with water, it's not as stable as the earth, right? Water energy could be up and down, up and down. But I'd say overall the energy is looking pretty good. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we have the Ten of Pentacles, one of the best cards in the whole entire deck. And if you read tarot, you know that. Right? You see the happy family, they got the dogs there, they got the 10 Pentacles. This is a huge card of wins, victories, blessings, expansion, potential. So, especially leading off with the 10 of Pentacles, I'm super happy about it. Now, tens can sometimes represent endings, but if this were any kind of ending, it would be a happy ending or a positive result of some sort. It's really, really great. It's great for money and finances specifically. So, for a lot of you, if you've been having tension there, this is good. This is an energy that's starting to stabilize. It's an energy that's becoming a little more predictable. So, it's great for that. Now, the downside, we kind of spoke about it when I was speaking about the elements. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse is almost immovable. So, when it's an energy that comes in, it doesn't go out quickly. Like it's an energy, when it's there, and you got to deal with it one way or another. It can feel stuck. It can be stubborn. So we do want to look at it further. But again, we're going to treat it as a positive until shown otherwise, right? So we're going to get that back in by the amethyst. Now, moving to the center, we have shades of similar vibes. We have the beautiful Queen of Pentacles. Now, queens represent the internal aspects of the suit. So, we've already spoken at some length about the Pentacle suit, and the Queen of Pentacles is feelings of security. I link her very closely to the Empress. So, when I see her again, blessings, abundance, cup runneth over. I have everything I need and then some. So, this is calm and stable and secure. So we love this card. If it's not representing an earth sign, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, remember it's not gender specific. So you might have a prominent earth sign in your life. Similar to the Ten of Pentacles, it's not an energy that's quick to change. So could we be speaking about feelings of stability? Sure. Could we be speaking about someone's opinions or their ways of being or their habits? Sure. It could be all that stuff too. But I generally like her. What you see is what you get with the Queen of Pentacles. It's like, okay, well, she's always been that way. She'll always be this way. I like the predictability to it. So that's good. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Seven of Cups. With if there is going to be any curveball within this reading, it might come from here. Now, you see that individual standing and looking at all the different cups. I like to call this card the menu board of life. So it's like, which cup should I take? Do I take that one? Do I take that one? Or do I take this one? This is huge for options, choices, and paths. So for a lot of you, whatever situation you're in, there's a lot of potential outcomes, or you might have more options or paths than you think you do. This is a really great card for stuff like that. Great for manifesting too. Now, this card does tie closely into the imagination, fantasies, daydreaming, literal dreaming. So again, maybe you're a little lost in the sauce a little bit. Maybe you've been overthinking a little bit when this card is here. I'd say that's the downside of the Seven of Cups, where it could overthink something too much. Or it's just someone dwelling on something and thinking about unrealistic things as well. So I think overall the energy for you is looking pretty good. If we are going to get a curveball, it might come over here. But I like it for the choices, especially with it saying like you have many paths forward, even ones that you don't quite see just yet. So let's get that tucked in right there, Gemini. I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. What do we got? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that 10 of Pentacles. See what that has. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Gemini, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the Ten of Pentacles here? Why is it in the mix? Thank you. Justice, beautiful, well deserved. To me, this is something that either you've been waiting on it a long time or it is well deserved. This could be a potential like karmic blessing or karmic reward too, especially with Lady Justice, the epitome of solid, stable, fair, balanced. I love it. Now, for some of you, if you're connected to Libra, this could be them showing up. But again, we're getting into the realm of karmic blessings already, which I think is really, really nice. Now, aside from the Libra energy, sure, can she represent paperwork and legal things, legal situations? Absolutely, she can. Could she represent decision making, making the right choice, making the right decision? Possibly. So, for some of you, maybe you've recently made a choice or a change or a switch and it was the right move when I see her. So, I like this. I really do. But to me, the realm that it's sitting in is definitely like karmic blessing, karmic win, victory. It feels well deserved. So whether it's something you've been waiting on for quite a while or something you worked towards for quite a while, it's like, I deserve this reward. I deserve to enjoy this, which makes me very, very happy. So I think this is super claimable right here in the front end. For those of you that have been going through some difficulties, if you've been going through some ups and downs and things have been a little wild, this is the type of energy we want to see. And even if you're cross watching for a Gemini, this is the type of energy we want to see where things are coming into like a nice balanced state. So let's keep moving forward. Now could be a great time for all sorts of problem resolution. But let's see why the Queen of Pentacles is here. Let's see what she's doing. Let's see if the good energy keeps rolling here for my friends. So why is the Queen of Pentacles in the mix? Cute. Okay. I mean, it's not perfect. It could be a little better. All right, we do have the Three of Swords in the upright underneath this Queen of Pentacles. So this could represent something that may have been bothering you for a while, or something that kind of lingers in the energy, if that makes sense. So whether it's a situation, whether it's a problem, whatever it might be, even if it's not new, there's something about the energy where it's like, I mean, we're close. Yeah, that's great. I'm really liking this. I'm enjoying this, but this energy seems to linger for whatever reason. So just watch out for that. Things that you may have been working through or dealing with for a long time. The Three of Swords is always on a spectrum. Okay, I always say that. Now, yes, can it represent anxiety, nervousness, pain, heartbreak? Yes. But to me, I also say it could just be a little gloominess. Could just be feeling a little bit down. But when I see it under the Queen of Pentacles, it's like, okay, this is where it is right now. There's a certain acceptance to it as well. So for some of you, there might be a situation you're dealing with where you find some sort of acceptance where it's like, all right, well, that happened. It is what it is. This We're reaching a stable place. That's what I'm liking. So for you, whether it's money, work, relationships, we're reaching a place that feels more predictable and more stable. And I'll always like that over like the explosive, erratic energy any day. So yeah, that's the main vibe. We're reaching a nice stability. But for another portion of you, there could just be something still lingering in your energy that doesn't discount this beautiful blessing and wind based vibe. But we're going to keep going. We're going to see what the Seven of Cups has, because that might give us clues into someone's like headspace or their mindset. So let's go in on the Seven of Cups, and we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Seven of Cups here for Gemini, please? Thank you. Hermit. Okay. Some of you might just be in hermit mode. Maybe you're just minding your own business in your own lane. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. I think it's good to keep some thoughts to yourself. I don't know why I'm saying that. Um, I'm a big believer in honesty. I'm a big believer in transparency. But then again, there's also sometimes where it's like, you might want to keep that one to yourself, Gemini. Like whether it's a plan you have for the future or something you're manifesting or creating. When I see the Seven of Cups with the Hermit, it's like, okay, keep that for yourself or like keep that within. You don't got to share all that information. So that tells me like in this time you might be more of an open book than you normally are. So whether you're talking to people, family members, new people, this energy might be prone to overshare or give too much information. So spirit could be urging you to keep something within for now. Like not always. Like there's just a thought or an idea. It's like, all right, we'll keep thinking about it. Like there's still more there. And usually I'm a big believer in not overthinking. There could be something that spirit wants you to think through a little more. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, yes, the hermit, that's big Virgo energy. I like it, but it is retracted, pulled back, and withdrawn. I would say overall, I think your reading this week is much more positive than negative. But there are these couple of little things here on the back end, right? And that's okay. Life is like that sometimes. But yeah, there is a piece of information or something where spirit's like, keep that to yourself for now, Gemini. Hold that in your back pocket. Hold that thought, hold that information in your back pocket for now. So I'm not sure how that applies or what that is, but it showed up. So let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadows. So very intriguing reading today. There's some really great stuff in claimable energy. But if you kindly look into Vox position number one, we start great. Start with a bang. We got the Ten of Pentacles and Lady Justice in the upright. Beautiful, well-deserved win, victory, blessing. It's also teetering on that like karmic reward type of vibe as well. So I think it's great. Whether it's something you've been working towards or working on for a while, the energy seems to come in and it's like, yes, I did it. Yes, I got it. I'm very happy about it. There's also this stability that we're coming to. Like, even if you've been going through some difficulties, because in the center, we have the beautiful Queen of Pentacles and the Three of Swords in the upright. So, yeah, there might be something lingering, a thought, a feeling, a situation that may not be the nicest, but the energy seems to linger, but it is what it is right now. I don't see it getting worse. That's what I like about this. So, if there are any problems or situations, I don't see it degrading any further. Like, it is what it is at this point. Moving to the back end, we do have the Seven of Cups with the Hermit in the upright. I know it's an off the wall type of message, but there is a piece of information or a thought or something that Spirit just wants you to keep to yourself or keep within for now. Or there's a topic that Spirit wants you to consider or think about a little further, where it's like, okay, you're on the right track, but give it a little more thought, give it a little more planning. Okay, so like keep it in. I don't know why, but please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Gemini? And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. Let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got? Quick, very first shuffle, your card pops out. So we do have the world, big karmic energy, a card of metamorphosis and things coming to some sort of completion. So for some Geminis, you might be on the back end of some sort of cycle change or metamorphosis, where it's like, all right, we're getting close to the end of this. This could be something coming to a head. Now, the good thing about the world is it doesn't always have to be a bad ending. It's not like the Ten of Swords. It doesn't have to have pain, but it can also represent big, powerful, energetic changes. So just know if you're feeling some things that you can't quite explain, or you're feeling some energies you can't quite put words to, this energy is like a lot of stuff moving in the spiritual background. It could also represent the world today. So watch how much you're consuming world events and news and stuff like that. Of course, it's good to stay informed, but there's just something here about trying not to dwell on world events, or unless this is a person you're connected to, that is. But we're just going to let that chill over there, Gemini. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The November subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation and you'd like to have a little chat with me, you can book a personal reading with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. You'll see my digital calendar is open for the month of November. They're filling up pretty quick, so if you'd like to have a chat, come over and see me. But for the November subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of a lovely deck. It's fairly new. It's called Tarot of the Woodland Wardens. It has a whole bunch of fluffy critters. It's really adorable. I think everyone would like it. So if you like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, since it is November, what are you most grateful for right now? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.